All right, today we're going on a bit of a hunt for a piece of code that's, well, it's hiding in plain sight. It's this thing you use constantly, probably dozens of times a day, without ever even realizing it. And to get started, let's just look at a number. A really, really big number.
Okay, look at this. Just let that sink in for a second. 3 billion. Now, what if I told you that's not, the world's population or the amount of money in some tech giant's bank account? No, this number represents the reach of a single piece of technology. It's a figure that's so huge, it's honestly kind of hard to wrap your head around. So, that brings us to the big question for this whole explainer. What could it possibly be? What single piece of tech is powerful enough and flexible enough to run on 3 billion completely different devices? Is it an operating system? Some kind of microchip? What is it?
Well, the answer, and this might actually surprise you, is a programming language. Java. For decades, it's been the quiet, super reliable workhorse powering a truly insane number of devices. So that's our mission today. We're going to go on that hunt and find out exactly where those 3 billion devices are hiding.
So our hunt is going to start in a place that's super familiar. The screen you're probably looking at right this very second. Because whether you're working or just browsing the web, you have been using Java for years, and you probably had no idea.
Yet this slide really shows you how Java plays two different roles at once. On the one hand, you've got it running apps right there on your computer. Think about things like Acrobat Reader or your antivirus software. But it's also the engine in the cloud powering the servers you connect to, like the super secure websites for major banks or even government sites. And that's the whole point, right? It's all about reliability and security, which is why it's trusted for both your personal stuff and for critical online systems.
Okay, so we've found Java on our own computers. Cool. But honestly, that's just scratching the surface. Now, let's zoom way out, from our personal desktops to the planetary scale, and see how this very same language powers the massive engines of global industry.
And this is where Java's reputation for being, an absolute tank really shines. We're talking about enterprise applications, which is just a fancy way of saying the monster-sized, super complex software that runs the world's biggest companies. Think about global banking. The systems that process trillions, with a T, of dollars in transactions. They have to be absolutely flawless, and for decades, they've been built on the rock-solid stability that Java provides.
And this is what's so wild about Java's range. The very same language that's trusted with, the entire global financial system, it's also the creative engine behind the world of entertainment. We're jumping from Wall Street all the way over to video games. So many popular mobile games and indie hits were built using Java. It just proves how incredibly versatile this thing is.
And speaking of mobile, let's not forget the little computer you carry around in your pocket. For years and years, Java was the main language for building Android apps. And that, right there, accounts for a massive, massive chunk of those 3 billion devices.
Okay, so we've found Java on our screens and in those giant servers that power the world. But to find the rest of those 3 billion devices, we got to go even deeper. We have to look into this invisible world of technology that's literally all around us, hidden inside the things we use every day.
Now, embedded systems sounds super technical, I know, but the idea is actually really simple. Think of it like a tiny little computer with just one dedicated job, and it's hidden inside a bigger machine. It's the secret brain running your smart TV, your Blu-ray player, or even the infotainment system in your car. And guess what language is programming millions and millions of these little brains? Yep, it's Java.
Now let's get even more personal. Let's look inside your wallet. See, a smart card isn't just a piece of plastic. It's got a tiny computer inside it, a whole microprocessor. And the secure, efficient little piece of software running on the chip in your credit card or your office key card? You guessed it. It's often a specialized version of Java. And the scope just keeps getting wider and wider. Java is also a huge player in robotics. And this is where that famous Java philosophy, write once, run anywhere, becomes so important. You can write the code to control a robotic arm, and it'll work whether it's on a factory floor or in a sophisticated research lab, no matter what operating system is underneath.
All right, so let's just take a step back for a second and look at the trail we followed. We've gone from our own desktops to the entire global financial system, from our phones to the chips inside our wallets. It's time to see the whole incredible picture all at once.
And boom, here it is, all on one screen. The entire Java universe. From the really serious stuff to the really fun stuff. From massive servers to the tiniest little chips. From what's right there on your screen to what's hidden deep inside your car. This is it. This is what we mean when we say it's the code that's connecting all these different parts of our world.
So, let's rewind all the way back to where we started. Remember that quote from Sun Microsystems, the folks who created Java, and that massive number, 3 billion? Turns out it wasn't just some marketing slogan. It's real. We found them. They really are all around us, in our hands, on our desks, and inside the very machines that make our modern world work.
And that leaves us with one last really interesting question to chew on. We've seen where Java's been, and we see where it is right now. But as we move into a future of, the Internet of Things, of smart homes and smart cities, what will the next billion Java devices be? And how will they, once again, quietly change the world right under our noses?